The stories shared on the Busy Baddies are submitted by real listeners and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. To protect the privacy of everyone involved, all names, companies, and identifying details have been changed or omitted. Any resemblance to real people or events are purely coincidental. We believe in keeping it real while keeping it respectful. Thank you for sharing your experiences and for trusting us to spill the tea with care. This isn't about busy work, it's about power, proximity, and what really happens behind the scenes.
Welcome to the Busy Baddies, where assistants speak freely, boundaries get tested, and professionalism meets real life. I'm Michelle, EA to a Fortune 150 female CEO breaking glass ceilings.
And I'm Mel, former C suite EA, well, who's seen it all. And in season 2, we're saying things you've only ever said to your work bestie.
We're bringing bigger stories, bolder takes, and the real talk that keeps this community thriving. Hello, baddies, and welcome to episode 4 of the new year. And I think this is a good one because if you listened last week, we got a little riled up. I think you guys were all, here for it. And so we're going to remain on the riled up topics.
Yes.
And we're going to talk remote work and return to office.
Yeah, everybody's favorite hot topic right now. I mean, your social media feed is probably full of people bitching and complaining about commuting, days back in the office, having to get dressed, work-life balance.
Who's going to take care of my dog?
Exactly. I mean, all the things. Like, I think there was good things and there was bad things that came out of being full remote. I am personally one who feels I am far more productive at home, and having been doing that for about 6 years. So this will be an interesting topic. Could be a house divided, like little bit like AI, maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to. You guys have to drop the comments and see. But yeah, we're in another no holds barred topic today. So
yeah. So okay. So thinking back to the crazy C word that is slowly getting to feel like very distant.
Yeah.
Right. Like 2019, 2020.
Yep.
Getting sent home, the world shutting down.
That was strange.
Very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember at one point seeing a picture of Vegas, like the Vegas Strip.
Yeah.
And not one person, not one car, nothing.
Yeah.
And you kind of had to step back and go, like, is the world ending? Like, they've been talking about this since like 1999, and like when it hit 2000 was like everything gonna crash. It felt a little like that.
It does. And it's funny that you said that because my oldest and dearest friend from kindergarten till 12th grade, he lives in New York and is a really successful real estate person. And he posted a picture, I want to say it was last weekend, and he said, I miss these times. And it was his son at the time during COVID standing on the Brooklyn Bridge in the middle lane, and there was not a car in sight on the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to share it in the comments of this episode so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But it took you back to a time when it was like I still really feel like, did that really happen?
Yeah.
Like, because so many weird things of standing in line at the store to get toilet paper, or, when else could you have a 5-6-year-old child stand in the middle of the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little wild thinking about all of that stuff back then, but it was real. It did happen.
Yes.
We got sent home.
Yes.
Life changed. We were at a company where there was I guess we never had remote employees.
Right.
Not in the sense of like that is what you were classified as.
Yep.
there were also, as hourly employees versus non-hourly, and you didn't work from home as
Right.
an hourly employee. So for a lot of us assistants, it was uncharted territory
Yeah.
of figuring out how do we do our job at home,
Yeah.
mainly because we just were never allowed to
Yeah.
do it.
And I think for me, it shined the light on the adaptability factor that we have as a role. It was, we can adapt and pivot on a dime. Because we had been trained for so long that to be effective, you had to be in person with your leader.
Right.
So I think it taught us, yes, there was disadvantages. You couldn't see what their mood was for the day. If they were running behind from meetings, there was a lot of self-management that had to happen for them. But I think to me, the thing that stands out the most is the adaptability that we showed at that time and how we rose to the challenge and really changed how the EA role can be done from anywhere in the entire world, and really opened up a whole new set of rules for the role.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it also showed resilience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There was no grace period, I guess. I'll say that. Yep. Okay, well, this is our first time doing this. Yeah. Like, let's see what we can figure out in the next 3 months. I mean, the very next day from being sent home, it was
figure it out,
work as usual,
right,
and figure it out.
Yeah.
Obviously, some things not changed, but we didn't have to schedule travel,
right?
Because nobody was going anywhere.
Man, the money that companies saved during those times,
and just the amount of work you could do, not having to find all of the time traveling. You know, I mean, obviously, you lose days traveling to places like China and India.
Yep.
So having all of that stuff cut out, I mean, different work, I guess you could say, got done. Obviously, there's meaningful agendas when our leaders travel around the world. But that was a big thing to then readjust to coming back to the office, was when travel did start to pick up, because you then lose all of these weeks that you had to have to visit all of these places. And so when let's just say over a year, it's 6 weeks that you gained for not traveling, and then have to take that back out of the agenda, was tough. Was really tough. And I feel like even today, and I don't remember the exact year, we kind of slowly started coming back. It was
like 2 years ago, maybe.
Was it 2?
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe 3 now.
23, late 23, yeah.
But I feel like we're still not even back to the full travel schedule that we were used to.
No, and I don't know as travel will ever be what it was pre-COVID, because I know personally from my EA days, when my last leader started traveling, the amount of flights that were reduced.
I don't think they've picked back up.
No, they haven't. So it's like the handicap that it gave you, and I feel like air service is just not ever going to be the same again. It just really threw things kind of on its axis.
Well, and to go a smidge off topic, but saying that air service hasn't come back. I mean, like, actually going out to dinner has went down the toilet. You know, like, there's a lot of other markets.
Yes.
Travel in general, like, so our hotels, our resorts.
Yes.
I mean, that has went down the tube.
Yeah.
Since COVID also, and has not fully recovered.
No, it changed things for a lot of bad ways. And I think, to your point around leaders not traveling, I think also on the flip side of what it did positive, I think personally for me, it also flipped a switch of 24/7 accessibility, because you were kind of a hostage of there's no other reason that you can't be on all the time and be working 10, 12-hour days, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
So it was like, I think for leaders, it made people feel like they were more readily available, which now that we're back, how do you kind of back out of that? And also for us as admins, outside of baking banana bread and doing other things that you were doing during COVID, you really had no valid reason not to be readily available for your leader. So it's
sad but true.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, just hearing you say that aloud is kind of like, how awful is that?
Yeah.
That just because some global pandemic happened, like we then, and we talked last week that, we're givers and we're, people pleasers.
Yep.
So how
it was
sad.
Like, and so, we have you now.
Yeah. I mean, but it's so true.
Yeah, it is.
That it's like, well, you can't go out anywhere. You're not supposed to be doing this, that, and the other thing of, I guess I should be here for you 24/7.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have to put a poll on this episode and see who is pro remote and who is pro being in the office.
Yeah.
And what's the percentage also that like the hybrid model? So there's the in between, middle of the road. Us personally at our company, we're back 3 days a week, 60%, which I feel like a lot of companies are doing that. There's the very few that are doing the 5. I personally will never work 5 days again in office, whatever that looks like.
I'll be looking for a new job. Yeah. You heard it here first.
You heard it first. Yeah, and which kind of is...
Don't tell my boss.
Yeah, which is kind of a fun way to open it back up, too, because I'm thinking about, like, the return to office arguments that executives try to make. So I love...
This is what's going to, I think, amp us up.
Yeah, so let's take some common leadership talking points that they like to use and let's decode them. So the first one I would say is we need to collaborate, in parentheses. What that translates into, I miss overhearing chaos, and it has nothing to do with collaboration, in my opinion.
Well, and I think the word collaboration has nothing to do with like where it is you're doing it.
Right. We collaborated for 3 years over Zoom.
Right. Yeah. Or on Teams or whatever we were using at the time. So I am, that argument to me is silly.
Debunked.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
Okay. Culture is suffering.
That is code for I don't feel like you're doing any work.
Or what is it that you do?
Right.
Yes. Or is it I miss actually having to do work all day?
Yes.
Because when you're in the office, you have like there's all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, we talked about what our company doing United Way,
yes,
and the local resource groups that we have, and that certainly suffered
absolutely
in COVID.
Yes,
and I think that's one of the great things at our company and about our company. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but that is one of those items that can't be why.
Yeah, and
we can't work from home.
No, and to me, it's such a boxed in feeling because collaboration and culture and those kind of what I would call buzzwords. I sit on a global team, for instance. Collaboration and culture for my teammates that sit in different countries is not the same as me being in person. So why is collaboration and culture okay with them for it to only be over Zoom in the comfort of their own home? And how is it different for me? So I think that's a very relative thing of saying, well, we need to collaborate and we need to do this. Well, okay,
you can't do that.
I can't do that.
So
you want me to go in the office and sit on Zoom all day with my teammates? That makes no sense.
Right.
Why does my physical location have anything to do with that? So I think there's some sticking points that people are going to start getting into when it comes to the words that they try to attach it to.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be okay for companies to just say, hey, We have a lot of real estate that we own. It is very expensive to keep that on the roster, on the ledger. And we've got to figure out how to get people back in the office to where we are maximizing and optimizing the use of our office space. I think that's fair to say, and I think people would at least buy into that.
Yeah, I think being
transparent,
open,
yes.
I think that's what we all want.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's a very
Right.
fair assessment. I mean, if you're working for a corporation,
yes,
or any employer, let's just be honest,
yep,
that if you are an idiot to think that owning buildings,
right,
and you know, office furniture, I mean, just think of everything in your brick and mortar where you work today, of what all that costs. I mean, of course we understand that. And of course, like any smart person, I mean, just apply it to your own home.
Right.
Why would you want to own a home and you're never in it?
Right. If I owned a home in Florida and I only went there 1 week out of the year, what is the point of having the home?
Right.
You know, it's the same thing for companies, to your point.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there is a little bit of that of just be transparent of why you need us in the office. Don't say it's for all of those these specific things. And we're also not saying that these aren't valid, right? I mean, for a lot of people, the culture of where they work is important, and that's a great thing. Nobody wants to work where, you know, it's a hostile environment. We're not saying it from that stance, everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's to the point again of the global team thing. I think it also is offensive to the people who are full remote and don't have another option, that only we should be able to have culture and collaborate with each other. It's very isolating to them because it's not all inclusive. You can't collaborate and have culture when you work from your home 24/7, 365, because why is that okay for one base of the employees, but it's not the other? So I think that it needs to be a little bit more even of a playing field, because you can't, I know you can't cater to everybody, but make it to where it's a robust enough reason that every group of people, whether it be people who are international or people who don't live close to an office or whatever it is, that it's for good reasons for everybody involved.
Yeah. And I think that's a very good point, because what we also saw, and I'm sure this was not specific to our company, but a lot of not knowing the future of how long COVID was going to last, what it was really going to do. I mean, people moved out of state.
Exactly.
And so
changed their lives in major ways.
And I hope every bit of it was for the better.
Yes.
But thinking of those specific people, and then now we're in year 2026, with the new return to office or mandatory days that companies are doing around the world. How is it fair that now that is only applied to people who live in the state or the city or the region of the company?
You're exactly right.
And that is a very hard thing of, so what you're saying is I should have moved to the place I hoped to retire
while I had the chance.
While I had the chance, couldn't see what the future was going to hold. And now, you know, we are being asked to come back to work, but yet, you know, Susie over here is now living her best life in Colorado.
Full remote.
And she doesn't have to come back, even though pre-COVID, she worked here. You know, so like that's the other piece. And obviously, you know, we don't have answers for any of these things. We just have our own podcast and we get to talk about it. But like that was really hard for me to understand. It still is of why do I have to, and I guess for me personally, I'm in the office all the time. So for me, I feel like it's irrelevant.
But you're advocating for the people that are on your team. Which is good.
Yeah, and other people that aren't on my team that
Right.
maybe are thinking this
Right.
and was like, oh dang, that really
Finally
sucks.
somebody validated it.
Right,
Yeah.
So that's just always one thing
Yeah.
that's been on my brain in
Yeah.
the whole COVID thing of allowing those folks to move.
Yep.
And then now it's things are being changed and nothing is changing for them.
Yeah, and to another point about that, think about the salaries that you're seeing for jobs now that are for full remote EAs, or even go a step further, the EAs in your company that work full remote, but you are expected to be in person 3 days a week, but there's no salary difference. So
yeah,
that's a tough pill to swallow.
That's the other biggie that I have.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I'll just say it. I have an issue with.
Well, sure.
And obviously, no, all admin jobs are not the same.
No, they're
so
not.
I'm definitely saying that I am raising my hand, and I understand that is the case. But to me, you cannot do 100% of an executive assistant role supporting an actively full-time C-suite executive remote.
Yeah.
And I stand on that.
Yeah.
But there are things that have to be done in an office.
Yes,
in
for
person,
sure.
with your leader. And yeah, they should not be getting paid the same as me.
No. So to that point, I think that's a good call out of, if we were being honest, what work actually requires in-person presence in your mind?
Well, for one, it's if my person is in the office and I am their executive support, I feel like I too should be in the office with them.
Yeah.
Because my sole purpose is to be available to do whatever they need me to do that's going to make their job easier.
Yep.
And that could just be that they love the emotional support of me being in the office.
Yes.
But obviously there are things like supporting a staff meeting, customer meetings.
Sure, absolutely.
There are expectations of what you need to do to support that, and you can't do it on Zoom.
No.
You can't greet the customers.
No.
It's an experience thing. You can't do things that you may need for your staff meeting topics, whether it's running charts, whether it's printing stuff, I mean, ordering the lunch, getting the lunch set up. Like those are things you have to do
physically.
And oh, well, I can ask Jane to do that for me. Jane shouldn't be doing
not Jane's job.
Yes. Like, I understand things can get delegated, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking like you're going on vacation for a week and you need somebody to fill in.
Right.
You know, if you're delegating it, that means you're not doing your job.
Yes, which then can also, to that point, cause resentfulness, breakdown of team kind of structure, bad feelings against each other. Like, it can cause all kinds of negative things to happen, I would say, within the morale department of a team.
And especially if your delegate, let's just say, isn't getting paid what you're getting paid anyways.
Right. Yeah.
So
now you're double down in the
so let's just say you have to ask admin on your team of admins to do your job. I'd be like, that's what you're getting paid more money than me to be doing.
True. That's a very good point.
So
yeah, and I think, being in person, to your point, is when it's an experience, a board of directors where it's high visibility, high stakes, and you're trying to create an experience to create that collaboration. I think that's where it's very important. I think the day-to-day calendar management, the booking of travel, some of that other stuff, you don't have to be physically in person for that.
Yeah, there is a lot of administrative work
yes.
that we can all agree that we do that can be done.
Yes.
physically remote.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. Yeah. And so I think like the hybrid, the compromise, which I mean, it doesn't really please anybody because I think if bosses were being really honest, to your point, they want a emotional support human that is sitting right outside the door because we're the calm in the chaos, we're the calm in the storm.
And I love that.
Yeah.
That is one of the part of the jobs that I love, that I have that emotional
effect. Yeah, absolutely.
Bond. Mm-hmm. I love that I make her day complete just by talking to me every morning and checking in. Like, I get great value and just like I don't know what the word is, but I love it.
Sure. You get encouraged by it.
Yeah.
And it's, to your point, I think that's another really good point is, for EAs and leaders out there that may be listening, it's very, very, very important that we touch base with each other in this role. So if you are a boss who maybe doesn't live in the city where your EA is, or your EA doesn't live in the city where you are because you hired remote, I think it is very important that you be intentional about touching base with each other, that you have that constant touch point of, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes of catching up, because being separated is only going to handicap your relationship if it's a constant. Now, if that person travels every once in a while, I think that's fine. But I think just being intentional about touching base is super important in this role.
Yeah. All right. So I want to quickly just kind of throw this in here because it plays perfectly off your last statement of, what we aren't talking about are actual full-time virtual assistants.
Yes.
Those are people that obviously are very niche. Mm-hmm. The people that employ them are looking for that specific niche. Yes. You know exactly what you are getting and what you aren't getting. And so I just wanted to quickly throw that in there before, people kind of start dogging us on the comments of, but there's virtual assistants.
Yes.
We're talking about people that work for the same company, doing the same roles, the same job, and that, that is what we are speaking to. And like I said, I mean, props to the virtual assistants. Probably
love to get there at some point.
Yeah, pre-COVID, I don't think that they were probably as big as a thing.
No.
And so that market definitely blew up. Props to them. Hope to be in that market in my future down the line, to where I get more control of, like, here's what I'm willing to do from the privacy of my own home.
It actually opened up a whole new bucket of EA work that we can do. So definitely good shout out to that, because definitely not talking about virtual assistants. They definitely have a place, a type of leader that they can support effectively and do that fully remote. So.
Yeah, and especially for the leaders that know what they need and want. Exactly. We have a lot of independent people that don't need the emotional support human. They don't need somebody to print stuff out for them and all of that stuff. So keep on keeping on and keeping that salary range going up, baby.
Yeah. So a segue into a question that I had come to mind. So do you think that remote EAs are promoted less and get less political capital or exposure because of the handicap of being full remote and not in person?
1,000%.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even think that's an argument.
Yeah.
Just think of any other job, an engineer, a project leader, a real estate agent. I mean, if you are not physically seen,
visible,
and being able to be in the presence of in a physical form, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
Just put your shoes in the person doing the hiring.
Yeah, and to that point, it's kind of funny that you say that, because there was several times, which I always took it as a compliment, but people would always comment and say, if I saw you in the room, I knew that she wasn't far away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is such a compliment because they were always looking for me to see where she was.
Yeah.
Because we were so closely connected when we were in person together that it was like, she can't be too far off.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's times if I'm walking,
people see you before they see the
me,
leader.
and they're like, oh, the
Can't
boss
be too
may
far.
be in.
Yeah.
Like there is never a time that if you see me that she's not around.
Right. She's somewhere. She just might be hiding.
Yeah.
But it's funny that we're the temperature gauge for that. But no, I think that's a good point because I think connections are everything. In office definitely has its perks when it comes to having the visibility, being seen, being the person who's known to be a constant steady. So,
okay, so feeding off of that, so in the shoe of the remote person, and as you're going into, let's say, your reviews, right? It's your annual employee review. And how are you getting to exceeds expectation being home?
Right.
And that's a fair, honest question. Like, I really want to hear the argument of how you are getting there being remote, because in my eyes, you can't exceed expectations remotely.
Yeah.
You can meet.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like you can't do a great job, but I am talking about above and beyond. How are you getting there? And again, we're not talking about virtual assistants.
So interesting that you bring that up because I started May of 2020. So we were in the 2-month mark of COVID kind of setting in.
Everybody get your pen and paper that are remote because Melissa is about to drop
some knowledge
how to get there. Carry on.
So I started with her. She was a very senior member of the leadership team. And I think, and it was crazy because I had never been a remote EA before, but I think that in the time that I was with her, I didn't meet her physically in person for 1.5 years after the time I started working for her, which is mind-blowing to me. I never thought I would ever see that day. So 18 months after starting working with her, and for the entire 6 years that I worked for her, I never got less than a far exceeds expectations, being full remote. And I think in conversations with her and the way that we've came up with it was, I was willing when I was remote to do absolutely whatever it took to get the work done. If that meant, and it did mean, I was on at 5 a.m. every single morning, then I started at 5 a.m. to pick everything that she sent from 9 till midnight. Because I was always starting out the day ahead. By catching her stuff early, I would be on early. I would stay on late. I would eat lunch at my desk. I had no personal parameters, but that's what she wanted. And she just never really realized. And an in-office person, she would always say, half the time they weren't at their desk, couldn't figure out where they were. They were having a side conversation by the water cooler. They had to leave by 4 to go pick up kids. It was a discouragement for her to have someone that was in person because they had so many parameters that she had to stay in. So it was like, it worked well for both of us because I was willing to do the unlimited amount of work that needed to be done. And she was allowed to make the unlimited amount of requests that she had to make. So it worked out. It worked out well because in her mind, you are going above and beyond working at 5 a.m., working till 5:30, 6 p.m., and ensuring that every single thing that I give you is done. It's done well. It's on time. It's ahead of schedule. You're 10 steps ahead of me. You know what's coming. So to me, it sharpened a lot of skills and made me a better EA in a lot of ways that I feel, this is my personal opinion, I would have never been successful had I started out with her as an in-person EA. I would have failed miserably.
Yeah, because you're saying you would have had like, here's my start time, here's my stop time.
Here's my boundaries. Where I had zero boundaries with her the entire time we worked together.
Even coming back.
Yes. Yep. If you need me to travel with you, I'll be on the road with you for 6 days. Don't care.
Yeah.
If that was 5 a.m. staff meetings because we were in a 3-hour time difference, that's what I had to do. Right. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Because to me, to your point, and you've said this often, whatever is needed of me is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So it was a leg up for me to be able to do that in the comfort of my home, looking like an absolute crackhead in my pajamas. Yeah. You know what I mean? It worked for me because I could literally plow through, not even realize it was 3:00. I hadn't ate lunch. I hadn't taken a shower. I hadn't brushed my teeth.
Yeah. Went to the bathroom once.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it once?
Yeah. And to that point, is that healthy? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Looking back, that was a very hazardous thing to do, but it allowed her to end her career on a high note. And it was always a flattering statement that she would say to me in reviews of, if I would have had you my entire career, it's hard telling where I would have went.
Yeah.
So it was always a testament and something to me that she always tried to feed of like, I'm very appreciative. I really love that you're doing this.
Do you feel, and you certainly don't have to answer this, do you feel that if you had started with her, let's say 10 years prior, that the way you worked would have been sustainable?
No. Mm-mm.
Do you think you could have gotten to a boundary that would have worked, or do you think it solely worked just timing of both of everything for yourself?
It was like the perfect storm of us coming together at the right time, the right stage of life for me.
Yeah.
I have no kids at home. I'm an empty nester. I have no responsibilities. It was perfect timing, and it really changed my career in more ways than I can even say. So it's very interesting that kind of happened. But
yeah, and the only reason why I asked that is, hey, we're here to talk about the real stuff, right? And I think in previous episodes, I don't know if it was even last year, but we had kind of touched on the timing of us being C-suites, and I think where you just said, no, it was the perfect time, because I feel very much the same way of, you cannot, again, my opinion, you cannot do this job effectively with small kids, with, things that you want to focus on.
It's a pull
in your personal life.
Absolutely. It's a holdback for you.
Yeah, and I don't mean it in a bad way to sound like it's like a company thing, because I don't, and I know that our company is very much on work and life balance, but there is just something that we preached over and over again, that there is something so specific about this role of admins and what we do, that we are the exception to so many things because of the sacrifice that we have to give to do this job well,
successfully.
Yeah. And so I just,
it's a good point. Yeah. And I think that you need to evaluate your stage of life and the person that you're working for, because it's either you're at a disadvantage or you're a disadvantage to your boss.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong. And again, I even told her this out loud many times. If I would have tried to do this when my kids were at home and I gave a crap about my life balance outside of work, I would have failed you just like the other 13 people that you had working for you.
Yeah.
I would have, because I know myself well enough that I would not have wanted to be in the office at 5 a.m. I wouldn't have wanted to stay there till 7. I wouldn't want to never be home with my family. I mean, there was just things that I was not going to be willing to do, but this was the perfect time to pour myself into what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that goes the same for C-suite leaders.
Yep.
Obviously, they aren't waiting till they get there to get married, and they obviously have spouses and families and children's, but that is coming at a price. I'm not saying C-suite people are not good parents and good spouses and good everything.
Yeah.
But it is very
Something
different.
suffering.
Yeah, something is absolutely suffering.
If it's their mental health, their marriage, their faith, their workout routine, their health,
you name it. Yeah.
There is an area of your life that is failing.
Yeah.
And so, I hope to have her on the podcast at some point where we talk about, like boss goals, like what to look for in a leader that you want to support, because I always tell her, for however many frogs you had to kiss to get to me, like it worked out. And for some reason, what is that recipe? Like what made her such an exceptional boss, and in her mind, what made me such an exceptional EA?
Yeah, no, it's going to be I cannot wait. Yeah. I cannot wait.
Okay, so just for shits and giggles, we're going to do a fun little hot takes lightning round of inside thoughts that we're actually saying outside. So, and we said what we said. Again, coming in hot this year, no apologies.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You want to start?
Hybrid is just RTO in a hoodie.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Remote EAs didn't disappear. The micromanagers just lost their security blanket.
Boom. Mic drop. 100%.
And can I say that it feels like micromanaging got worse?
Yes.
If it could have gotten any worse.
Like, remote is a micromanager's worst nightmare.
Yes.
Like, they literally are losing sleep over the fact if you're actually doing anything.
Yeah.
Return to office isn't about productivity. It's about vibe, optics, and middle managers needing witnesses.
Touche.
Yes.
If I'm in the office just to be on Zoom, I'm commuting for aesthetics.
100%. Yeah. You're just changing geography to sit on the same damn Zoom call. You can't build culture if you don't trust adults to work unsupervised. Again, micromanager's worst nightmare.
I mean, we're not lying. All right. So, we promised last week, because we had an absolute blast.
Yes.
Talking about just some red flag.
Idiot job of the week.
just the most obscene thing. And so we promised that we were going to maybe turn this into the
weekly thing,
the idiot of the week,
just to highlight the hypocrisy that's out there and the unrealistic expectations these people have with job descriptions matching responsibilities and salaries.
Yep.
So what did you find on the World Wide Web, Michelle? Did you find any, or
so I believe we have something from the lovely state of Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. So I'm just going to read a little bit. So,
because we also said we were going to call them out.
Yes, of who it was. This is for an exec admin position.
Okay.
And the opening line should tell you everything that you need to know. And this is such a, what would you even call this? Because after I read you the job description and give you the salary, you're going to be like, begin a fulfilling career. There is nothing fulfilling about the responsibilities, how many people you support, and what you're going to get paid in this job. So, begin a fulfilling career with the state of Indiana by joining one of the largest employers in the state, offering a diverse range of opportunities across 60 plus agencies. You'll find competitive compensation, liars, a robust benefits package, and commitment to work-life balance. Most importantly, you'll have the chance to make a real measurable impact on the lives of Hoosiers across Indiana. Nobody gives a shit. So they go on to say, this is going to be an executive assistant for the Indiana Finance Authority. They are going to support the public finance director, the general counsel. You are going to also, in addition, possibly support other IFA programs as needed, which means it's going to be an expectation.
It's going to happen.
It's coming. And you'll need to be the first point of contact in the office, necessitating a professional presence and ability to screen guests effectively.
Yeah.
So now you're a receptionist and an executive assistant.
Correct. For not one, but two people.
Right, correct. Yeah.
And you're going to have project work.
Yes. And this is going to be a meaningful career, mind you.
Yeah. Yes.
And, they only make you work 37 and a half hours a week. You're just getting 2.5 hours extra to just, I'm sure, spend all that amazing salary they're going to give you.
Yes. Drum roll, please, on that amazing salary, Melissa.
Yeah. Okay. So what does the salary statement say?
The salary for this position traditionally starts, which let's not even ignore what traditionally probably stands for, is $49,000.
Yeah, there's not a 1 in front of that. It's 49,000.
Yes. Mind you, all of that work in less time that you are expected to work in a week. And what Melissa and I thought would be just an exclamation point on
since
top
it's public
of this,
knowledge,
is to go on and see what these two jobs make.
Right.
All right. So on average, a general counsel for a state, obviously, makes $175,000 a year.
Yep.
And the public finance director, $123,000. So between both of them, and this is just pay, not whatever else they may
bonuses,
get,
whatever,
is $300,000 for both of them. I mean, is that even?
That's not even 20%.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, what?
Yeah, and we didn't even get into the best part. So you're going to maintain the front desk, greet and screen visitors, answer the telephone for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different areas of the state. You're going to also be customer service where you respond to routine inquiries and make appropriate referrals.
Oh, you're gonna be
the web person
too.
You're
gonna also be the website person.
Yeah. What else are you seeing in here that's standing out?
You're gonna prepare monthly payment notices.
So you're going to be accounting.
You're accounting.
And you get to order office supplies. So now you're the office manager too.
Yes,
so you're office manager, web designer,
accountant, secretary.
Oh, you're the mail person too. You have to appropriately distribute incoming mail and other materials for all agencies on the floor.
And the normal executive assistant.
Yeah, and you get to deliver all the requested items. You get to be the delivery person, like the courier in the office.
Yeah, and you gotta own everything printer related.
Oh, so you're IT too.
Yeah.
So they're getting like 7 people in one role for $49,000.
Yeah.
So technically it's $7,000 a year to be an EA. Like fuck all the way off.
I just can't.
Like I can't with this stuff. Like and I'm serious. All of these are posted. I found this one on LinkedIn, and there was another one that was out there on the internet, I think that Michelle found. But we are going to bring you this hypocrisy every single week. This is a new segment.
Yep.
Fuck tea time. It's going to be
idiot job of
the week. And we may even need to get like a sound effect for this because it's got to be impactful.
It needs something.
Please tell us what you think about this job description.
Yes. Who wants it? Who out there is looking for like the most fun job? So we hope you enjoyed our topic today. We're finally getting the hell out of January. One more cold ass month here in Indiana. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, they say it's the year of the horse and it's supposed to be good, so we'll see.
Okay, well, bring it on. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, bitches.
See you next week.
Bye. That's it for us today, bringing order to corporate chaos.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that follow button.
Yours truly, Melissa
and Michelle,
the Busy Baddies.